Hi, I'm Nick Gillespie with Reason TV. We're in Las Vegas at FreedomFest, and right now we're talking with J. Neil Schulman, author, filmmaker, most recently of Lady Magdalene's with Nichelle Nichols, and also Alongside Night, a novel of 1999, which is his next film project. Neil, thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
Okay, tell us about Lady Magdalene, which you're showing here. What's the plot, and why should people watch it?
Lady Magdalene's is a trenchant satire of everything that's wrong with Homeland Security. Starting off with the traditional, screening grandma at airport security in the beginning, and by the time they're done, they're hot on the trail of Al-Qaeda, thinking there's going to be a bombing plot against Hoover Dam, but of course they have that wrong.
And where does most of the action take place in this movie?
Most of the action takes place in Nevada, Pahrump, Nevada. Which is one of the areas of Nevada where you have legalized prostitution, legalized brothels. And our action does take us
I really feel
through.
like you're hiding the ball. So that Lady Magdalene's refers to a house of prostitution.
Lady Magdalene's is a brothel in Pahrump. It is the fictional third brothel in Pahrump.
What is the what's your basic beef with Homeland Security?
They don't trust the public. They treat everybody in the public as if we're the terrorists. It's like the school teacher who says, if I can't find out who did it, you're all staying after school. Well, that's how Homeland Security does. They basically treat us all as if we're terrorists. Instead of realizing that Flight 93, United 93, showed us that in fact the private civilians are the only ones on 9/11 who actually stopped an Al-Qaeda attack.
Where is the best place to watch Lady Magdalene?
Well, the easiest place to do is to go to Amazon.com, where we have it both as instant video and as a DVD.
Okay, great. And then Alongside Night, it's your next film project. It's based on one of your novels. Tell us the plot and where the movie is in terms of production.
Okay. Well, first of all, it's no longer a novel of 1999. Back when it first came out in 1979, it was thought of as science fiction. We've gone past the 1999 window, and it's basically, I like to call it the novel of 1979, ripped from today's headlines, because it starts out with the last 2 weeks of the United States before hyperinflation causes the total collapse, the point at which they don't have any money to pay the army anymore. And it's told from the point of view of the 18-year-old son of a world-famous Nobel Prize-winning libertarian economist named Martin Vreeland.
Wow.
Yeah, you might remember that David Friedman was one of my advisors on the novel back in the day, and Milton Friedman did endorse the book. So basically what happens is he runs into the revolutionary agorist cadre who are offering a lifeboat solution to the Titanic economy.
Okay, and when is the movie coming out?
We intend to be in principal photography by the end of this year. It says on IMDb that the movie will be out in 2012, and that's what I'm aiming for.
Okay, well that's great, and it's the novel is still available, right?
The novel is on Amazon.com, but also the easiest way to get it is you go to www.alongsidenight.net, where already 285,000 people have downloaded the free PDF.
Okay, which brings us to our final point. This is an incredible world to be both a producer and consumer of art and culture, creative expression more generally. There are just so many more ways to make your stuff and to get it out there and for people to access it. How do you feel about this new world of kind of culture on demand?
Well, it's shifted the emphasis. It used to be that there was a gatekeeper of getting distribution. Distribution is copiously easy to get right now because you could just go on the web and you could distribute anything you want. There are very few barriers. The problem is we're now going for the problem of monetizing what you're distributing. And that's a problem of, first of all, publicity, gaining eyeballs, and there's still money in publicity and advertising that has to go into that. And then you have to figure out a way to create a revenue stream going the other direction. And I'm not only competing, making a movie with a $100 million production of Green Hornet or a $200 million production of Avatar. I'm also competing with the actress who goes on YouTube, cries about the fact that she loves cats on a supposed dating profile, and gets 10 million hits, absolutely free. So on the one hand, I've got hundreds of $1 million productions that I'm competing with. On the other hand, I've got these multi-million hit free productions that I'm dealing with, and I'm stuck in the middle trying to figure out a way to monetize my investment.
What's your strategy then?
The strategy is basically targeted marketing. In other words, you have to triangulate your markets, figure out exactly who your market is, who you're trying to sell to, and then you basically hit them and try to give them something they can't get from either the free 5-minute production or the $100 million feature.
Neil, what's the best place for people to sample your wares?
Well, I'm the easiest person on the internet to find because I've got jneilschulman.com, my personal website. I blog on Rational Review, Neil Schulman at Rational Review. You can't miss me by going to IMDb or Amazon.com or Wikipedia. They all have links to me. So and then of course you go by title, AlongsideNight.com, AlongsideNight.net for the free download, AlongsideNightMovie.com, LadyMagdalenes.com, or Amazon.com.
You're keeping GoDaddy in business for at least another year.
Hey, listen,
right?
I just signed up for a 2-year discount on GoDaddy. I'm using them so much.
Neil Schulman, author, filmmaker, thank you for talking to Reason TV.
My pleasure.
For Reason TV, I'm Nick Gillespie.